The Premier League consistently spends the most money out of any other league in the world. Several new players get brought into the league every season, and inevitably, a good number of them end up flopping. So in this video, we take a look at 8 summer transfers that have already flopped. As always, please like and subscribe before we get into the video. Number 8. Koulibaly. When Rudiger left Chelsea last summer, the public perception was that Koulibaly was a perfect replacement. In fact, some fans were arguing that he was an upgrade on the German international. Chelsea fans were extremely excited with the signing, and Koulibaly even spoke to John Terry, overtaking his number 26 shirt, with the Chelsea legend giving his blessings. So Koulibaly came with huge hype, but has thus far failed to live up to it. He has looked nowhere near as solid as he did in Italy and is susceptible to the odd mistake in a game. The Senegalese has received a lot of criticism on social media from Chelsea fans, with some even demanding he leave in the summer. Chelsea have much younger centre-backs at their disposal, such as Fofana and Badiashile, and Thiago Silva is still world-class. So unless Koulibaly shows drastic improvement, his days at Chelsea may already be numbered. Number 7. Arthur Melo. With the signing of Arthur, the Liverpool board have flopped more so than the actual player in this case. In the summer, it was clear that Liverpool need midfield reinforcements, as most of their current options are either past their best or injury prone. To address this issue, they went and signed Arthur Melo on loan from Juventus, a player who has a track record of being injury prone and in all honesty isn't a particular great player in the first place. And lo and behold, we are halfway through the season and he hasn't played a single minute of football in the league and managed just 13 minutes in the Champions League this season. This is because he is struggling with injuries yet again. It is safe to say that Liverpool won't be exercising the £33 million buy option they have on Arthur, and he will return to Juventus in the summer. Number 6. Cucurella. Now, there is no denying that Cucurella was one of the best fullbacks in the Premier League last season. In fact, he was so impressive that Pep Guardiola wanted him at Manchester City before Chelsea came in and hijacked the deal. But alarm bells started to ring when the Blues paid £62 million for a player who's only been in the Premier League for just one season. And it's proving very difficult for Cucurella to live up to this price tag. He is defensively a liability, and this was shown in the mid-season friendly against Aston Villa, where he was out-muscled and knocked to the floor by a 16-year-old academy player. Former Chelsea defender William Gallas has criticised the signing of Cucurella, questioning why Chelsea would spend £60 million on a player who doesn't even play for his country. The only reason Cucurella even starts for Chelsea right now is because Ben Chilwell is out injured, but once he's fit, Cucurella will likely be relegated to the bench. Number 5. Jesse Lingard. With Lingard's contract expiring at Manchester United, many assumed he would be signing for West Ham. After all, he did spend 6 months on loan at the club, which were arguably the best 6 months of his career. He scored 9 goals and grabbed 5 assists in just 16 league games, and West Ham fans were desperate to see him rejoin permanently. But with Nottingham Forest getting promoted and offering him a £200,000 a week contract, he went there instead. And so far, he has not been worth the money, as he has 0 goals and 0 assists this season in the league. At £200,000 a week, it's clear that Forest expected Lingard to be their star player. But so far, a player like Morgan Gibbs-White, who was playing in the Championship last season, has outperformed him. Lingard is now 30 years old, so there is no reason why he should still be so inconsistent as he still is. Number 4. Coutinho. Coutinho has had quite the fall from grace since leaving Liverpool in 2017. He spent several years at Barcelona in and out of the team, but when he returned to the Premier League last season and was reunited with Gerrard, it looked like we had the old Coutinho back. He scored a goal and got an assist off the bench against Manchester United on his debut and had 8 goal contributions in 19 Premier League games. His loan move was then made permanent in the summer, a big statement of intent for a club like Villa to sign a player with the quality of Coutinho. Unfortunately, he's failed to shine this season and has 0 goal contributions in the league. In fact, he doesn't even start for Villa anymore and is behind Buendia in the pecking order, who's been far from amazing himself. Do not be surprised to see Coutinho and Villa part ways in the summer. Number 3. Calvin Phillips. Having been one of the most impressive DMs in the league since being promoted with Leeds, a whole host of clubs were after Calvin Phillips' signature. And despite plenty of options for him to be a starter elsewhere, he chose to sign for the one club where he would only ever be a bench player, Manchester City. Now some of you may argue, he was only signed to be a bench player, so how can he be a flop? Well, when you sign a player for a fee of £45 million, there has to be a level of return on that investment. At the very least, you have to be a reliable backup, but Calvin Phillips, with his injury and fitness issues, can't even find his way on the bench most weeks. He's only played 18 minutes of football in the Premier League this season and was outed as being overweight by his boss. He's not injured, he arrived overweight. I don't know why. He didn't arrive in the condition to do training sessions and to play, Pep told the media last month. Number 2. Richarlison. For years, Tottenham fans have been crying out for a backup striker to Harry Kane. The England captain has played a huge amount of games in his Tottenham career because, put simply, Tottenham have never had a capable backup. In the past, they have signed the likes of Vincent Janssen and Carlos Vinicius, who weren't at the level required to be at a club like Tottenham, even as backups. But when Levy and co splashed out £60 million on Richarlison, everyone thought Spurs finally had solved that issue. After all, the Brazilian has managed double-figure goals in the league several times and can play across the front three. But so far Richarlison has no goals in the league and has missed several games due to calf and hamstring injuries. He did have a good World Cup and I do believe he can ultimately come good, but so far you have to say he's been a flop, especially at the price he cost. Number 1. Aubameyang. After things turned sour at Arsenal with Mikel Arteta, Aubameyang rejuvenated his career at Barcelona. He spent half a season there, scoring 11 goals in just 17 games. But after the arrival of Lewandowski from Bayern Munich, Aubameyang fell down the pecking order and decided to leave the club. In hindsight, he should have stayed at Barcelona as he would currently be at a club who are first in La Liga. But instead he's at Chelsea, who are currently sitting 10th in the Premier League table. He's only scored 1 league goal this season and doesn't even start most games, the reason why he left Barcelona in the first place. Earlier on this season, he was subbed on against Manchester City in a league game and then subbed off in the second half. Clear sign that he is nowhere near the level the manager needs him to be. At 33 years of age, he is unlikely to be able to turn this around now and will likely be let go in the summer, with Barcelona rumoured to be interested in bringing him back to Spain. And that was it for the 8 summer transfers that have already flopped. But what I want to know is what you guys think. What other transfers should have made this list? Comment them down below, and as always, please don't forget to like and subscribe for loads more content.